If you want to experience massive amounts of prosperity and abundance pouring into your life, radical decluttering is the first step and possibly the only step you need to take to set all of this in motion for yourself. And if you've never done it before, now's the perfect time. I'm going to tell you why, how, and what happened to me when I recently completed a huge part of my own radical decluttering. The abundance I've experienced is mind-blowing for me, even though I've been doing this work for 20 years. So I'm excited to give you a little tour of all the things that have popped up. But most importantly, we're going to talk about how to approach this, how to get started so that you can have all of this wealth pouring into your life. For those of you who are new here, my name's Claudat. I'm a modern Feng Shui master, founder of the School of Intention, a whole method and school of Feng Shui, which is unlike anything else in the world. What we do here is creative, powerful, completely positive, and it is life-changing. And I love hearing how much your lives are changing as you are doing it. And for those of you who want to dive deep into Feng Shui and decluttering, this season, we are doing both the Feng Shui certification and the decluttering certification in the School of Intention. It is open right now. It is an enormous bonus. You will save thousands of dollars just this year, and I cannot wait to welcome you in. Again, all the details are below. Now let's get into your radical decluttering. First, let's start with why radical decluttering is so powerful. I could list maybe 100 reasons, many backed up by science, of why letting go of all of your clutter in a radical way can transform your life and bring you more money. A few of the big ones. First, you're going to clear your mind. And you're going to raise your emotional intelligence in the process. You're going to have more emotional clarity for yourself on what's going on in your life. When you see clutter all around you, you are propelled backwards. So you're propelled into the past. You're thinking about what could have been. Maybe you have regrets. Maybe you have other thoughts that come to mind that take you out of the present moment. And you're not as in touch with your emotions. And when you're not in touch with your emotions, you're also not in touch with your intuition. So this is a big one. Another thing that happens when you get rid of clutter is you raise your vibration higher. Now, I know that might sound a little fantastical to some of you, but being happier has been proven to make you wealthier. Being happier brings more success in every way, and who doesn't want to be happier? It's way more fulfilling. Another thing that happens when you radically declutter is that you get rid of obstacles, actual obstacles in your way. Do you know how much easier it is to find the files you need when you don't have to sort through 10,000 files that you don't need? How much easier it is to go through the day, to cook, to do your morning routine when you don't have a bunch of junk to sort through, a bunch of things that drag you down, and again, all that heavy stuck energy. So this is huge. Now, another thing that happens when you radically declutter is you start to see more possibility because you have more space and your mind can actually think bigger. And last but not least, because of Feng Shui, we know that your home is a mirror of your life. Your home is a mirror of you, and every single thing you do to your home changes your life. And if you've never considered this before, it's the missing link that's going to help you to manifest things beyond your wildest dreams. I wouldn't still be doing this for 2 decades if it didn't work like a charm. And the way that we do it here is completely unique. So sit tight. We're going to get into even more of the how to radically declutter using some Feng Shui principles of my unique method to make this the most life-changing and abundant. So let me share a little bit of the prosperity that came pouring into my life after I cleaned out one big closet, which happens to be behind me as I'm sitting here. This big closet was the key to everything. It kicked off this absolutely radical decluttering where I was unwilling to allow anything to stay in my house that wasn't something that I loved, that wasn't something that I needed. Everything needed to go that was in my way. And with that spirit in mind, I opened up the floodgates to so much abundance. The first thing that happened is that all of this furniture was just given to me. My friend just finished decorating her place and decided she couldn't stay in Los Angeles anymore. And so I got to inherit all of this stuff, which was amazing. So this sofa, All of this, even this coffee table, all wound up in my house, along with so much art, which I'm borrowing. It's not mine, but I'll give you a little sneak peek. This and this. I also discovered that I hadn't framed 2 major photographs from a brilliant African artist, and I got them framed, and here they are. You could see them on both sides of the wall. In the process of all this, the one thing I can't show you on camera is that I experienced massive, massive, massive abundance coming into my business, coming into my life. I was able to complete projects that I never thought that I was going to be able to complete so quickly. And I was able to bring in things that I've dreamed about my whole life. And the big one is this. I started out with this Buddhist altar. I've had it for years and years and years. I've been a practicing Buddhist for almost 25 years, and this is my little altar that sat on a table. And because my practice is so important to me, I thought, you know what? It's time to upgrade. So I reached out to a friend of mine and asked him what he thought about a table that I found online. I was just going to order a piece of furniture. And he said, oh, wait, if you want to upgrade, I actually have an altar. I have an entire setup in my storage, and I can give it to you. And I was like, how much does it cost? And he was like, no, I'm going to give it to you. It was given to me to give away. And I was like, what do you mean? These altars are incredibly hard to find, even these little tiny ones. And so this is what showed up in my house. Can you believe it? This thing is priceless. You can't even find it. If you tried, you can look all over the country and you can't find it. I am so blown away. Look at this. And this was my biggest, most precious manifestation because of how rare it is, as well as how expensive. If I tried to buy it, it would probably be $20,000, $30,000 if I could even find it. And it just landed in my house. And this is what's going to happen to you. Of course, the very first step is to decide that you are unwilling to settle for any of this stuff anymore. Even if you don't know how you're going to replace it, you are not going to hold on to this stuff anymore. I am still 30% away from being done with my house, and that final 30% is the stuff that I have reasonably held on to. Clothing and things in the kitchen and pots and pans and all kinds of stuff that I don't use, that I think, well, one day I might use it, but one day has never come. And even if it does, I can get it again. So can you. If you believe in the abundance of the universe, things will always come to you when you need them. You don't need to carry around the weight of the past. Step 2, and this is just a little nuance, unless there's something very, very important coming up in your life, like you're having a big party at your house, something's happening, do not give yourself a crushing deadline. Decide you are going to give yourself enough time to do this radical declutter, and decide you are going to spend at least a little bit of time every single day working on letting things go. Third thing that's going to help you as you go through your radical decluttering process is that you're going to follow your energy. You may be taken on a side quest. And this is what I mean by this. You might find something and realize, I want to finish this painting I never finished. In my case, I found the photographs that I showed you that were sitting in my closet that I hadn't had framed yet. And so I went on a little side quest to get the frames, get them framed, get them up on the walls. But that was also part of completing these unfinished projects, and it gave me a lot of momentum. And this is something that I encourage you to do. Don't get distracted and stop decluttering completely, but follow your energy. You may start working on a closet and then go, you know what? I feel so strongly I need to do my wardrobe. Or you may be in the middle of doing a project and get a realization that, my goodness, I want to complete something that I haven't done. And you go complete that unfinished project and come back to all of your dumping. Follow your energy, because you're waking up your instincts, you're waking up your intuition, and you really want to pay attention. And of course, the final step is do not stop until you feel free. Until you feel free. So a lot of people tell me, Dana, I did a bunch of decluttering and I didn't find money on the street like you did. I didn't have these jobs come to me. I didn't have all this stuff. you might need to go a little further. Decluttering is even not just in your space itself. It's your digital world. It's your mind. It's your body. It's your emotions. It's your energy field. When we do this, when we dive deep into decluttering, especially in the decluttering certification coming up in the Feng Shui school, we peel away all the layers of stuck energy, all of the things that are distracting you in your mind, all of it goes. Now, typically, all of it goes as you dump your clutter, but if you're feeling held up and you truly don't have another bit of clutter to get rid of, there is nothing you're settling for in your whole life, you love every single thing that you have, and you still have some stuff that hasn't gone yet, then consider decluttering your mind, decluttering your digital life, doing a full digital detox. So much you can do to take it further. So I know you are going to have wildly abundant success, and this is the number one thing, not just in Feng Shui, but in all of life. If I give anyone advice at all, I always say start with decluttering because it is so infinitely life-changing for everyone. You don't even have to believe in Feng Shui to see magic happen. So if you want to join us this year in the Feng Shui School of Intention, the professional Feng Shui certification program, which also includes the decluttering certification this season exclusively, the link is below to learn more and join us. And if you want to learn how to start boosting the energy in your space while you're decluttering, this whole playlist full of herbs and spices is what you should watch next.